Hey, what's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing well. Wanted to talk about a couple things in particular today. Dealing with motorcycle theft. Because there's been a whole lot of it going on around Boston this year. More so than the past years. And there's a couple reasons why. And a couple influences. And with that always comes a result. So let's figure out what that is. Alright. Man, I love just giving this thing the juice. So anyways, motorcycle thefts in Boston, they've been up this year more than ever. I mean, there's been bikes getting stolen right outside of Fenway Park. Extremely popular area. This is like on the weekend. I think I just got a bug in my mouth. Even if it was a bug, that wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Anyways, so a lot of bikes getting stolen right outside of Fenway. You know, this is on the weekend, a Saturday night at 8 p.m., 7 p.m. You know, during the summer, it doesn't even really get dark until 8:30 at its peak. So, what's going on? How do these guys do this? You know, I'm sure people have gone on YouTube and checked out videos of motorcycle thefts going on in London, because they're having a massive problem with like scooter gangs and guys going around with like, you know, a hammer threatening anybody that, you know, stops them as they're trying to steal a bike. And the laws in England are kind of fucked up, because if people try to stop the bike thieves while they're stealing the bike and the bike thieves get hurt, somehow those people that are trying to help can be held accountable for hurting the bike thief. That's fucking ridiculous. It's so stupid. The US would be the opposite way around. I'm pretty sure we have something called like the Good Samaritan law. That might be just for Massachusetts, but yeah, they should have that in London, because shit's getting crazy. But something similar, I'd say, is happening here in Boston, and probably in New York City as well, but more noticeably, it's something new in Boston. We've been having big groups of kids on scooters, you know, all 50 cc's cruising around the city. You don't have to have a license or even a permit to have a 50 cc and under scooter. They're good for, you know, a short commute to work or something like that. But a lot of these kids are able to just, you know, get these scooters and then just start ripping them around the city. And they're doing wheelies, and, you know, because they see all the bigger bikes, all the supermotos, like what I do, for example, ripping around. And yeah, so they want to do that, but you know, some of them can't afford it. So what they do instead is they've been stealing a lot of these scooters. It's gone up a lot more. And some of these kids have been stealing bikes from guys that I'm acquaintances with. You know, whether it's through bike meetups or maybe even Boston Supermoto. There was a guy that has joined Boston Supermoto, and his WR250 got stolen right out of his yard in a city, I guess, that's technically part of Boston. But, oh nice, there's no bump there anymore. But, yeah, so anyways, he got his bike stolen right out of his yard. I'd say less than a month later, somebody spotted this kid in Dorchester on this bike. I'll probably throw up some pictures right now. So, this fucking kid is whipping around, putting up, you know, pictures to show how cool he is, doing wheelies right down the middle of the street, romping on one of our buddies' bikes. You know, that shit makes my blood boil. I'm all for doing wheelies and shit and being skillful on a bike, but stealing other people's shit and then trying to get at it that way, fuck you, dude. You're a piece of shit. I fucking hate thieves. And what's ironic is you look at this kid's Facebook and he's posting all this shit. It's public, so anybody can see this. And all of his friends are even writing on pictures saying, "Oh damn, you a hot boy. That's a hot bike, this and that." AKA it's stolen. He's riding a stolen bike. So they're so blatant about it and so stupid, they're gonna get caught anyways. But now there was another kid that was probably acquaintances with him. This kid just got caught for the second time stealing super bikes. He's like the same age, like 17 years old. The police caught him, I think like beginning of July, with 4 bikes in his possession. Not sure exactly what happened, but somehow now he's out in the streets again and he's stealing bikes again. So then just last week, oh, what's going on here? Anyways, so the kid's out in the street, he's stealing bikes again, and last week he gets hit again. A cop is rolling by, he sees a kid pushing a super bike, you know, in the street or going up to a house or some shit like this. So he stops him and he finds these other bikes. Now, this same kid, you go on this kid's Facebook, and what do you see? You see pictures of him on the bikes, riding around. His friends also writing on it, saying, "Damn, you a hot boy, that's a hot bike," all this shit. I swear, they just steal bikes and let their friends know that they stole the bike just because they think it's fucking cool. It ain't cool. That's bullshit, man. How about I come over to your house and steal your fucking PlayStation or whatever you like? I'm gonna come over there and steal all your shit out of your room. You can have my bike, I'm gonna steal everything out of your fucking room. Your whole life I'm gonna steal. How does that feel? Because that's what happens when all these assholes are stealing bikes. You're not only stealing somebody's bike, you might be stealing their livelihood too. You never know. Somebody might be relying on that bike to get to work every day, to feed a family. You never know. In the US, it's a little less common to be riding a bike around every day like that, especially if it's such a risk. You know, sometimes cars can be cheaper. But in other countries, it's a commonality. Fuck that shit. Fuck the thieves, man. Fuck them. It's bullshit. So, now you know who these kids are and how often they do it, but how do they do it? You know, some people say, oh, if they really want your bike, they're just gonna come to your house, they're gonna come with 4 guys or 2 guys, use baseball bats and pick it up, you know, put it through the wheels and pick it up that way. Or they just pick up the bike and put it in the back of a van. You know, oh, they're not even gonna drive off with it. That's like the most common thing that I've heard about bike thieves. They don't necessarily drive them away anymore. They put them in the back of a van. Well, I suppose that's true. However, these little shits, the 17-year-olds, they were riding 2 up on a scooter, you know, looking for bikes, masks on. Sometimes they were on the 600 RRs. And then they see a bike without any locks on it or anything like that. They break the steering lock together. One gets on the bike, the other one's on the scooter, and pushes the bike with his leg on the super bike's rear foot peg. So they could just push your shit, and they're gone. You know, they're gone. There's not going to be a cop in the area who's fast enough to respond to something like that unless they're already there. And they might even see it themselves. That's the only way. There's easy ways to prevent that, you know. In a city like London, people are parking their bikes outside all the time anyways. And, you know, maybe they have to. Shed space is very limited there, I guess. Yeah. So they're always locking them on the sidewalk up to something else. And then they have to worry about thieves coming, you know, and cutting their locks off. They actually do that shit. They come up with like an angle grinder, electric. Damn, that's a nice sound. And they just cut that lock off. That's it. They're gone. You know, it's a little different here in Boston, thankfully. You can get a disc brake lock, put it on the front, so they can't just get on that bike and break the steering lock and push it away. You know, they still have to deal with that. They're more likely to say, fuck it, I'm gonna go look for another bike to steal than steal yours. So instead of making it easy for them, do something about it. You can put on one in the front, one on the back if you want to. Hell, why not? A lot of motorcycle repair shops in the area have been telling people on all these posts when they see them on the internet, you know, put on a GPS tracker. What are you doing without a GPS tracker yet? You got such a nice bike. I tend to agree with them. If you got a bike that you spent like $8,000 on, is it really that expensive to put in like 200 bucks or even less for a GPS tracker? It's definitely worth it. Must be a sob show or something around here. But really, there's only so much you can do to stop them. If somebody really wants your bike, they're gonna take your bike. If it's in your driveway, if it's in your garage, no matter how many locks are on it, they're gonna study your pattern, find an opening, and go to your house or wherever it's at when you're not there and steal that shit. So make sure you got insurance on it at all times, especially on a bike. Neighborhood undercover type looking cop car. That's what that looks like. Finally, another bike. Oh, this guy is like squinting out right now. I still give him the thumbs up. He's still looking like a squid. That's a nice bike. Not a big fan of Harley Davidson or cruisers in general, but that's a pretty nice bike. They kind of look like a what do you call it? Heritage. A Heritage Softail. I think that's what it was. Hyundai. 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 Around the corner. Oh man, special kind of guy. Alright guys, I'm gonna cut it off here. Thanks for watching as usual. keep up with the new videos always coming out. But hey, have a good one. See ya. Peace.
I got a